And I think we are live. What's good, my brother downtown Deuce? Man, it's good to see you, man. It's your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. We coming at you live
Sir,
from in the zone. What's good, people? Deuce, how you doing, man?
what's going on? I'm feeling good, bro. Now I feel like I gotta go online and get some Teal gear. Feel me?
Yeah, gotta get some Teal, get some Teal. Hey, look, what are we celebrating here?
Yeah, man.
What are we celebrating? The
Ah,
return
man,
of
we are
the Teal.
celebrating. Yes, yes, the Teal has returned, man, in great fashion too. I haven't been this excited about Pistons basketball in a long time, and I
Return
cannot
of the
wait.
horse.
Ooh, let's go.
Return of the horse.
Yo, D, the
Let's
horse has
go.
returned. Horsepower, baby. Motown City. That's how we do it. But yeah, man, it's a great time to be a Pistons fan. A lot
Yep.
going on right now. A lot of media buzz, national media buzz for the Pistons. Like Grant Hill
Turn
got
of
Grant
the
Hill yesterday.
horse.
You got to
Let's
show him the
go.
signature. Let me see the signature at the bottom, though. Show him the
Let's
signature.
go.
There you go. There you go. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get it.
yeah. Bro, when was the last time the Pistons got this much media attention after a 23-run season?
Bro, this much buzz? I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, when's the last time they got this much attention? Just period. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like it's weird. Like on the national scene, everybody's not just giving them attention, but speaking glowingly about them. Even Uncle Perk, you know, Big
Yeah.
Perk, he's out there speaking real well. You know, JJ Redick, he's saying in a couple years they will be contending in the East.
Yep.
We heard, the stars talk about it at the NBA last year. And we said,
Hmm.
yo, how come the players in the NBA are talking about Cade Cunningham, talking about Sadiq Bey, talking about the future where this team is headed? But why isn't the media talking about it other than shout out Candace Parker? You know what I'm saying at the time.
Facts.
But,
Facts.
and Ashton, but, he ain't part of like the official media, but he's been doing everything he can to shout it from every single rooftop. Shout out Ashton the Trader. Shout
Shout
out,
out to Ashton.
yeah,
Man,
yeah, definitely.
everybody. Yeah, I told Ashton, I said, bro, if you weren't from here and I didn't know you, there's no way I wouldn't think you were the man of the city. You weren't born and raised here. He just puts on for the city. And
Bro,
that's just love. That's love.
Yep. But look, man, with these tills coming back, I know that there's a lot of people out there who they're not the happiest with it. But look, we got to show it first. The till is back. Let me see if I can get these up on your screen real quick.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Till has returned, man. It's a fun time. I haven't been this excited about Pistons basketball in 15 years.
Yep. What do you think it is, man, with all this media? Do you think it's true, or do you think they're just gassing us up?
I think it's exciting. I think we're the exciting topic right now because of who we drafted last year in the position that we're in now with Jaden Ivey. I think even casual fans who don't even really know the basketball specifics, it's the fun thing to talk about. It's the new thing to talk about. The teal jerseys, the new players, all of these different things being said about us. I don't want to call it bandwagoning, but I think it's just a fun thing to talk about because it's just a buzz that's starting to accumulate and to grow. So I think it's just one of those things. I think once the season gets started, though, that's when people will really begin to turn their heads because then it'll be more than just lip service.
Yep. Yeah. All right, man.
What about you?
Yeah.
What do you think?
We got to get these up. You saying what? What am I thinking about but all this
Yeah,
hype,
all the
man? What to make
buzz.
of it? All the
Yeah.
buzz. It's
Woo!
crispy, brother. That's what threw me off a little bit, man. That's what threw me off a little bit. I was sitting here looking at them like, dog, man. They got our homie Jay and Ivy looking crispy.
Hmm. Yeah, man. I love it.
They are,
Yeah, it
and
fits in well.
yeah, let's go, bro.
Mm, that's fire. That's fire, man. So I'm
Let's.
hearing that the teal jerseys are going to be featured 10 games this year, right? But I'm wondering if at some point they're going to bring the horse logo back as with permanency, even if it's not the teal, maybe if it's just the red, white, and blue with the horse like back in 2004
Yeah,
when we had it. So I'm looking forward to see what happens with that.
it's gonna be interesting, but to kind of answer. I don't really know what to make of all of the media attention or if they're just trying to gas us up, man. I think that some of the miles that are saying it, like JJ Redick, like Kendrick Perkins, I believe that they're sincere. And when people like them and people in the NBA are saying, the players look out for it, since they were the ones who kind of started this wave. My bad. That's disrespectful to K and Sadiq and these boys. They started the wave.
Right.
And then the players who they're playing against started to pick up on it, like, y'all better watch out. We know what they're doing this year. They're trying to get that draft pick, and they got Jay and Ivy.
Mm.
But moving into the future, moving into what we see them doing, Ivy and Duran, what we know Troy
Yep.
is going to do as we move on, I don't think it's just noise. I think some of the media is starting to realize, I think we're behind. Hey, it's the summer.
Mm.
Get them engagements up, right? Piston fans
Right.
know if their team is worth anything or not, bro. They do.
Yep.
Trust me. So
Yep.
if the media, they're not putting out this content because it's not hitting. They're putting out this content because
Mm-hmm.
it's hitting. That's why it's resonating with
Right.
the fans, and that's what's real. I started realizing I don't think it's just the media buzz. I think it's because the fans are buzzing. I think it's because we're looking and
Mm.
we say, you know what? Nah, I can see the way that these players' heartbeat. I know how Beast 2's heartbeat. Maybe there's some limitations to his game, but I understand what he's about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe, Cade Cunningham is not going to go out there and pop for 30 every night or 25 every night or 20 every night. But I know that boy is going to go out there and give it his all. I know he's going to be a leader, a connector. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a little bit different than just having guys here that they've gone out and signed from just a pure talent perspective and completely missed on the intrinsic. The drafts and the signings that they've had in the past. I feel like it's missed some personality that we're starting to see
Yeah.
right now. That
Yeah.
that's gotten people to really, really buy in.
Yeah. I agree with that, bro. And I think too, from a fan standpoint, outside of Detroit, they see how athletic we're becoming now. Just from this draft, getting two of the top 10 athletic players in this draft, and Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren. The average fan, they want to see high flying. They want to see high flyers. And we're going to have a lot of that. We've all of a sudden became a very athletic team. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that goes into it too.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I want to talk about something here. We want to
Okay.
talk about this Teal era,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's the return of the Teal. I want to bring up, let me see here, man. Looks like I'm talking in the future. Let me
Oh,
see
shoot.
here. It's like that's back, right? But here, let's bring up this jersey. Let's bring up this roster here, man, because I want to be able to talk about all the different people that kind of wore this jersey. And before I bring it up, I want you guys to tell me how many Piston players do you remember that wore that
mm,
Teal jersey? And definitely, man, look, put it
mm.
down in the comments for real, because we all talking about Teal, and everybody
Yep.
know Grant Hill. Some people just realized Jerry Stackhouse actually wore that jersey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, but it was funny, man. We asked this the other night, and it got a great response. We asked this, I think, Sunday night on the
Mm-hmm.
Woodward Pistons show. Shout out to the co-hosts Sean Murphy and Jeff Iafredi. They
Yes,
co-hosted with
sir.
me. And Downtown Deuce is one of our contributors. Hey, help us get there, y'all. Definitely subscribe, hit the like button. But
Yes. Appreciate
definitely,
y'all.
though, we were talking about this there, and I was surprised at how well people remember some of these Pistons players.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, I'm curious to see some of these names you got up here because
Let me
I
see.
got quite a few, and it's funny. It's gonna kind of show the age of some people too with how many they can remember. So I'm really curious about what
You
our
see
people
it?
have to say who they can remember. Yep, I see it. I see it. Ooh, yep, yep. I'm trying to. There's a few names on here who really I don't remember. Not too many, but there's a couple. I'm looking at Steve Bardo. Don't remember who Steve Bardo is. I think that's the only guy who doesn't resonate, who I don't recall though. Let me see. Eric Lechner. I don't remember who that is. Eric Lechner? Hmm. But everybody else, I pretty much I personally
Which
pretty
one?
much remember.
Eric
Yeah,
Lefty.
Eric Lechner and Steve Bardo, I think are the only two who I don't
Yeah, it
really
was
remember.
95, 96. That was the first year of the Teal.
I
Because did
believe it
did
was.
Allen Houston wear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he did. I remember they had kind of an unveiling of sorts with him and Grant Hill, kind of like how the Heat did with the Big Three.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Let me get
Yep.
this.
I think we should do some player comps, man. I think we should do some player comps.
Sheesh. Man, it's crazy looking back on this stuff because some of these players I remember, and other these players I'm just like, who?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm like,
Steve
yo, Grant
Bardo.
Hill. I don't know what type of help he had. When we look back on it, and some people they blame him for wanting to bolt and get out of here to Orlando, and the way it was
Mhm.
done and things of that nature. Hey,
I mean,
that's
people
up
have to
for
remember
discussion.
Grant Hill. He was pushed to play on a bum ankle against the Miami Heat when
In
they got
Miami.
swept in the series.
You
They had no chance winning,
remember the
and
bloody
he was
sock
absolutely,
and the ankle, bro?
absolutely.
Yeah,
They got swept. That's back when they had a 5 game series in the first round. They got swept 3-0 easily, and he's playing on a bum ankle. He had no business playing in that series. So by the time he got to Orlando, he was already a broken player of sorts,
yeah.
And so I really feel for him. I wish he would have stayed here, but I mean, in hindsight, you see that really brought us Ben Wallace, so I'm not mad about that move. But I kind of look back in retrospect, and it kind of makes sense as to why he felt he had to make that move at that time because he wanted to win. He wanted to win championships, and he saw that we really weren't in a position to do that.
Yeah, or at least not while he was here in this predicament, man, where his contracts could have gone and things of that nature. And what the Pistons were trying to do, or what the Pistons needed to do, was exactly what Dumars did, and that was built it over from the studs, man.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
one of the, it's interesting, man. Dog, they lost two high-powered scorers in Grant Hill and Allen Houston, bro, in like
Yeah.
close years, but. It's
Yeah.
interesting that they got one of, if not the best scorer, one of the best scorers, I mean, in Pistons history.
Hmm.
Jerry Stackhouse was an absolute bucket, man. He
Yes.
was an absolute
Yes.
bucket. So it's like, I know they lost Grant Hill. I know they lost Allen Houston. I don't remember how much you all remember Jerry Stackhouse, but he did don the horse. He did don the Teal horsey. So we got to talk about him. Let us know what you remember
Absolutely.
about Jerry Stackhouse. Deuce, man, I'll let you kick it off. Jerry Stackhouse, brother. What do you remember
Well,
about he was an
I
absolute
re-
scoring machine, bro.
what I remember is him being top 3 in scoring in the NBA when he averaged 29 points a game. That goes under the radar. Go
That
look it
sounds
up. Go look up the
crazy, bro.
numbers.
That sounds
People don't
crazy for a
remember that.
Pistons player.
Doesn't that sound crazy?
That
But
sounds
because he
crazy.
was so bad at the time, nobody even remembers that. But the boy was a bucket, man. He was an absolute bucket. Get it anywhere, give it to you however you want. He was he was a bucket, man.
Got your
Yeah,
eye
absolute
flat.
bucket. Yeah, man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved watching him play. It was kind of like with Grant. Like he just didn't have the pieces
Mhm.
around him. I think what if they played together? That would have been fun to see. But we didn't get a chance to see them. We saw
Yeah.
Grant with I believe with Allen Houston for a season, half a
This
season, something
season,
like that when
yeah.
he was healthy. Other
Yeah.
than that, we didn't see anything else. So that was my favorite memory of Jerry Stackhouse down in the teal uniform. What about you? What was your favorite Jerry Stackhouse moment? Or what comes to mind when you think about Jerry Stackhouse in the teal Pistons uniform?
I just think about how fearless he was as a competitor overall. Like he was very, very tough. He was a
Hmm.
scorer who could score in many different ways, and he could be very, very sometimes eloquent on the offensive side of the game. His spin moves, his post moves, they were very, very precise and everything. But
Yep.
when it was time to get gutter, bro, dog, Stack had that dog in him. It was like he would
Yeah.
play like black, yo, I'm trying to cross over him or hit my step backs. But then there was just this other like speed to him, man. This other gear that just when he got mad, when he got a little chippy, you could just see him and he's dunking on you. It's no more like, oh, dribble pull-ups and threes. It was like,
Yep.
now I'm going to the rack. And you're gonna catch a ball in your jaw. Trust me, he wasn't a dirty
Hmm.
player, but he was gonna make sure 2 hands on the ball. You better make sure your face is out the way. That's how it
Facts.
was with him. And some of them dunks
Yeah.
he had, go back and look at some of Jerry Stackhouse's dunks. He
Yeah.
has some bodies,
Yeah.
man. He has some
I'm
bodies.
glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because he was a very tough player, man. Tough-minded player. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't afraid of anybody. Everybody thinks when you think about Sean Bradley, what comes to mind? T Mac, right? Right? But T Mac was not the only
Ah,
one to do that to him. T Mac was not the only one to do that to him. There was a game against the Dallas Mavericks, I think it was 96 or 95,
yeah.
when I think Sean Bradley fouled him hard because he was going to the rack and he fouled him hard. And Stack hopped up and got in his face. He tried to go face to face with him, but he came up to his chest because
Oh,
he
I
was so
remember. I
because Sean Bradley was
remember.
about 7'5", 7'6". So, but he went
Yeah.
face to face with him. He looking up at him, and then the very next play, he went and just dunked all over him.
Dunk
It was
all
it was
over
reminiscent to the Grant Hill Alonzo
Alonzo
Mourning
Mourning.
situation. Yes,
Bruh.
yes.
I remember that one. I remember that.
Yep,
Yo, he was so tough. And it wasn't
yep.
like he was ever holding back. It's just it got to a point where he was like, now y'all done, boys. Push me to a point that I don't care if even I get injured. All of y'all are
Right,
getting to work. It just with
right.
Stackhouse, it got to those points.
Yep.
And I wish it was enough. I wish it was enough for him and during Grant Hill's era. I wish those guys could have
Mhm.
gotten some wins, man. They deserved all the help in the world. And they didn't get anything. And
Yep.
it's interesting that they decide to highlight those guys because no matter what anybody
Mhm.
wants to say about their wins or not, or the era was ugly or not, I don't complain about that era's effort, bro. They just didn't have the talent. I don't
Right.
complain about like Grant Hill and Jay Stackhouse, those number ones. They proved to be number ones during their era. They left it all out there. And we got eras where when we look at the Lions, bro, how many of those players do we make sure we honor, even though they haven't won? Like,
Mm.
bro, shout out to Nate Burleson because he deserves to be honored. He
Mhm.
came here, he put in that work. It wasn't even like he put in that work as a number one. And we honor
Right.
guys like that, like Golden Tate. I believe that Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse deserve to be honored. And other people, man. Yo, the Junkyard
Yep.
Dog. You want to
Yeah,
talk about
Jerome Williams.
took
Yes.
any play off Jerome Williams, bro. Like these guys didn't take no plays off. What they call
Yeah.
him? Junkyard Dog. It was so
Junkyard Dog.
infectious, dog, that other players was coming here trying to beat him. Remember Mikey Moore? Like, yo, can I be scrappy, dog?
Yeah.
No, other
Yeah, yeah,
players are
yeah.
coming here trying to
That's
be that just
right.
because of the precedence that he set. He's a player that
Mhm.
we should not ever allow to not be mentioned. Yo, the
Yes,
Junkyard
yes, for
Dog
sure.
was vicious. Eric
He
Montross.
wasn't Eric Montross, another one. Junkyard Dog, he may not have been as skilled of a basketball player, but he was very reminiscent of Dennis Rodman. He's
Yeah,
going to leave
like
it
D-Rod,
out
like super light.
on the yes. Exactly. He's gonna
Yeah.
leave it on the floor. He's gonna play great defense. He's gonna give his body up on every single play. He's
Mm-hmm.
gonna play physical. He's gonna play hard. He's not the most talented guy, but he can play above his head sometimes because of how
Yep.
hard he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one. Junkyard Dog is a great one.
Bro, you know who else had that sneaky dog in them? Those guys who they want that talented, and this is why these guys, this era probably has to just be honored because they had some dogs on there. They just wasn't that
Yeah.
talented,
He
bro.
just wasn't that
Michael
good.
Curry, man. Michael Curry was
Yeah,
the guy who I always thought,
Michael
like, man,
Curry.
if I play cards with him and I cross him, he'll punch me in the throat. Not even in the eye. He's just like, nah, we ain't even fighting. You out of here. Blah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he was a tough guy, man.
but
He
do it
was a tough
nicely and
guy.
then help you up. Like, you good? You good? Like, that's
Like
just the
do you
vibes I
understand why?
got from him.
Right. Do you understand why how we got here? Do you understand? Okay, cool. We good? Okay. He's
Yeah.
that kind of guy.
That's how he became coach. Boy, he had them boys
Right.
shit. Not a good
Yeah,
coach,
he
but
did.
a coach. But
Yeah.
that's all right though,
Yeah.
because we don't win that championship without him. And you talking about the veteran presences and such. You know,
Absolutely.
that team was perfectly, it was what it was. I feel like if you move one piece, even the 15th guy who's bringing the Gatorade bottles, like I feel like you throw everything off. Like, bro, what if we didn't have Eldon Campbell?
Yeah. I mean, we needed Elder Campbell because there were spurts in the finals when Ben Wallace needed a breather.
Yeah.
Eldon Campbell came in and gave some quality minutes. He wasn't able to bully Eldon Campbell. He was one of the only guys that could really guard him straight up. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Whenever Shaq was on the floor, we could guard him straight up, regardless of who was in the game. That's very important. We needed his presence.
People they say things. I know this is a little bit different than the Teal era, but it's connected because some of those players from the Teal era actually were on that 2004 Pistons team as well.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsey Hunter, Ben Wallace wore the horse too, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
He
And
did.
you know, when you think about that era, man, woo,
Yeah, man.
just the
I know.
pedigree, just from top to bottom. I don't know, man.
I
Lindsey
feel like
Hunter, bro.
yeah,
He was
Lindsey
so
Hunter,
tough.
man. I'll never forget that alley-oop pass he had to Grant Hill when Grant caught it with the left hand and threw it down. Remember that play?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You talking about the one where he kind of caught it like this and came
He had
back?
to contort his body. He had to
Yep.
contort his body. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He caught it with the left hand. Because
Yep,
normally
I
you
remember
catch
that
it with the
joint.
right hand.
What?
Yeah.
Yep, I definitely remember that. I remember that. But yeah, just honoring this era of players or honoring this jersey, it's a little weird, like I said, because a lot of people associate the losses, but you can discernibly see there's a difference between those years and the buffoonery years those years and that lost like decade of Pistons basketball, the Drummond era and the buffoonery era and the Josh Smith era. What are those pretty much the three eras that kind of fit in between the Troy Weaver era and the going to work era?
In the going to work era, I would say so. I would say
Yep.
so. And I think the Teal era, I keep hearing people say, don't bring the Teal back. Don't bring the Teal back. We were losing. Has anybody not been watching Pistons basketball for the last 15 years? I mean, we were losing during that period too. It's not like whenever we won the red, white, and blue, we've been a winner.
Yeah.
So I think the narrative is about to change about the Teal, and I understand why people always get PTSD whenever we mention the Teal. But I believe it's the perfect thing you can do because now you can change the narrative. When people look back 20 years from now or 10 years from now, I think and believe that when they mention Teal, they're going to relate it to the time when the Pistons became one of the top teams in the league, and not about the days when they had Grant Hill and that was all they had. Yep. I think that's kind of going to be the change in the narrative because now we can bring the Teal to prosperity and say, oh yeah, they were good. They had Kay Cunningham, they had Sadiq Bey, they had Jaden Ivey, they had Jalen Duren, they had Isaiah Stewart, they had Bagley. It won't be, oh man, they had Grant Hill and nobody else, So I think we can kind of change the narrative going forward so that when we look back, it won't just be all bad memories.
And that's why I'm glad we're able to sit here and talk about this now to help better set what the narrative was, because there were players that we love from that generation that could potentially get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I'm talking about like all of these players from some of these other teams, like Brandon Inge and Donnie Kelly Baby and some of these guys from other teams, that get praised, man. Like, why can't these guys get a little bit shine? Why can't that era be one that is connected into the overall, even if it was a down years? You know what I'm saying? It served a purpose because we can't talk about Grant Hill without realistically talking about that year. And Joe Dumars played years there. Lindsey Hunter played years there. I don't know, man. Terry Mills, you know what I'm saying? But you mentioned something. You said, what about some player comps?
Yes, sir.
So you think what current team as it relates to who's their player comp to the Teal years?
Yep. Teal to Teal. This current roster compared to the 95, 96, 97, 98 roster all the way into the 2000s.
And what we hope they can be or become.
And either what we think they are or what we think they can become. Yeah.
Now I've heard this one before, and I gotta say it again, bro, because it's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one. I hope that this player, who I'm gonna compare to Lindsey Hunter, can actually zone in, key in, and say, you know what, I can be that, and that's Killian Hayes. That's Killian Hayes, man. I think that is a great archetype for him. I know we've heard people say things like Jason Kidd, everything from Jason Kidd to Ricky Rubio. But with his defensive prowess, we all state his playmaking ability, his transition ability, and his defense are all top notch. Now, could Lindsey Hunter shoot? Yes, he could. I mean, come on, brother. Did you fear Lindsey Hunter? Did you, as a Pistons fan, fear when Lindsey Hunter was on offense?
No, you can't.
That's what I mean.
Okay, I got you.
He wasn't a dead eye, but not a lot of those guys back then were like dead eyes.
That's true. That's a good point.
But and he wasn't I get what you mean. But I wasn't afraid of him on offense. I knew he could get to the rack and lay it up. I knew every now and then he was gonna get the bunnies, he was gonna show off. I knew he could hit the little mid-range, his little I remember his crossover. It was almost reminiscent of oh my goodness, who's the two-step? Miami guard. Tim Hardaway. It was almost reminiscent of Tim Hardaway, and he would get right into the mid-range and pull up, stop on the dime while the defender's running right past him.
I remember.
And it's like I feel like Killian could be that, and he has way better measurables than Lindsey Hunter has. But the defense is something where I'm like, you know what? If he can get the same, prowess that your defensive goon.
I like that comp. I like that comp for sure. Lindsey was underrated, man. I mean, I think people really appreciated him more when we won the championship naturally. But he was a dog, man. He was a defensive dog. He was one of those guys where on the other side of the ball, you're like, I got Lindsey on me tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. He was one of those guys. He's just going to irritate you. He's just going to irritate you and just mess with you. So I like that comp. If Killian could become that, but he has to develop that mentality. He has to develop that mentality to embrace the physicality defensively. If he does that, then I think that would be a great comp.
You're right. Bro. because we see him as a good defensive player, but I do want to start to key in a little bit more on the physicality of it all. How is he playing against the more physical players? How is he playing when he gets switched off? Because obviously you're
Right.
not just going to guard the one. You know what I mean? When they see Killian on, they're gonna try and free up their point guard anyway. Can you guard
Mm-hmm.
the 3, the 5? You know, when they do those 1-3 handoffs, dribble handoff
Right.
offenses, and you got to switch and things, can you guard the 3?
Right.
You know, Killian's somebody that I'm hoping that even if he gets caught on a 5, that principally he can be defensive sound enough and physically just adept to not get absolutely worked. And with
Mm-hmm.
point guards in perimeter defense, that's another thing. Like I want to key on that. I haven't looked crazy at it. I haven't seen him look crazy outmatched. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a good one, man. If he can embrace that
I think that's a
physicality,
very good one, bro. It's a good one.
it helps him.
I
Who
like that
else,
one.
man? Who else? So we got Killian to Lindsay. Who you feeling?
What about how about Don Reed to Isaiah Stewart? Right? Right?
My man pulled out Don Reed.
Remember Don
Dude,
Reed? Remember Don Reed?
bro, you got your
So
thinking coming. That's why I'm kind of excited about it. I'll let you go. That's a good
okay,
one.
yeah, but come back to it. Come back to it. So I'm thinking Don Reed. I just remember seeing when they would show the starting five, it would say center, Don Reed, 6'8". I'm like, ah. You know what I mean? Because he was undersized, but he always played bigger than
Yeah,
what he was very strong
that's a
guy. You're
good
not
one.
gonna muscle him in the paint, you know. And he wasn't gifted offensively, but he knew where he was supposed to be defensively, right? He always gave you 100% defensively. If you know he was great at pick and roll. He wasn't much of a shooter, didn't have much range, and that's why I think Isaiah can be even better if he can develop his 3-point shot or even his 15-footer, right?
Yeah.
But Don Reed was somebody who was a undersized big with grit, and I actually got a chance to meet him last season. He was a real nice guy. But yeah, he's undersized guy. He played hard, gave some hard fouls when necessary, right? If,
Yeah.
if he felt guys was coming into the paint too much, then he'll put you on your butt. That's just the kind of player that he
That's a good
was.
one, dog. I'm excited about that
Yeah.
one. Kool-Aid Man agrees, right? You agree? You like
Hey,
it.
Kool-Aid approved.
I
Oh
like that one,
yeah.
dog. I like that one. I like that. That's a good one, yo. That's such a
Yeah.
good one. Shoot,
What
who
else?
else?
What you got?
Who else? Who else?
Um,
I gotta
let's see.
go for what
What you
I
got?
think Jaden Ivey could be as a scorer.
Okay.
Let's go Stack. High flyer. You know,
Ooh.
obviously Jaden Ivey's
Yeah.
more athletic, but scoring
Yeah.
wise, Ivy has to prove he can get there. But I don't know. I think that's the one there. Is there a better comp for Ivy than Stack?
Not that I can think of because we haven't really had a super athletic guard like this.
Yeah.
I don't think ever. So I think the closest thing you can say, just from a scoring standpoint, is Jerry. We just talked about Jerry Stackhouse,
Yeah.
almost 30 points a game. I'm not saying Ivy's going to average 30 points a game, but I think he has the ability to go to 20, 25 a game in his prime, right?
Yeah.
So I think and he can do it. He has to prove a little bit more on the NBA level, being able a 3-level score, right?
Yeah.
We know Stack was a 3-level scorer. He was going to get it
Yep.
done wherever you needed him to get it done. So
And don't put
Ivy
him at the
can.
free throw line because he's knocking those down.
There you go. 88. I think he was 82%, and that was his low. I think he shot all the way up to 86, 87. So however you want to
However
give
you
it to him,
want
he's
it.
going to take it. However you want it, exactly.
How
So
do you want it?
I like Ivy. I think that's probably the closest comp is
Yeah,
Jerry
because I was looking at
Stackhouse.
the scoring aspect of it. I was like, you know what? I don't know any other like prominent scorer. I know obviously the obvious one is Cade Grant Hill. That one's
Yeah,
been bantied
right.
about since he's been drafted by the Pistons.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I thought that was a good one. I thought that was a good one.
That is a good one. That's a good one, bro.
All right,
I like that one.
you got to come up with another one, brother.
Okay, you put me on the spot. Let's see.
Right.
How about okay. What about Jalen Duren, Theo Ratliff,
You know what?
right? Maybe somebody who's long, athletic, rim
That's
protector.
either that. Yeah, you
Um,
know what?
you
We gotta
gotta
let that one go.
okay.
I
I'm trying
mean,
to think of a better comp for Jalen Duren because I don't
big,
want to say he's limited offensively to Theo Ratliff. I'm not saying that.
yeah,
I think he can be much more offensively, but I think from the defensive side of the ball with the athleticism, the strength, the wingspan, because Theo Ratliff had long arms. I think
that's
he had a
true.
7'4", 7'5" wingspan. I
Yeah.
believe. So and Duran, I don't. His arms are ridiculously long.
Yeah.
So I think from the we've seen him spike the ball like volleyball
Yeah.
in college. So I think he has the
That's a good
ability to be
one.
that type of defender.
Bro, you got your thinking cap on today, man. That's a good
Man,
comparison as it relates to just the measurables, the style of defense. I would
hmm
even say I know Ben Wallace wore that teal as well.
yep,
I know he wore that
yep,
for a little bit after the trade with Grant Hill. But
yeah,
obviously in terms of impact on the game, Ben Wallace's offense wasn't the greatest, but his fit on the
right,
team was flawless.
right.
Even to the point that they were confident enough to say, hey, we're gonna go to Ben Wallace 5 times in a row to start a finals game, bro.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Exactly.
So it's just like, you know what? I can see during a little bit of Theo, a little bit of Ben, Theo
Yeah,
on the offense, a little bit of Theo as it relates to his length and a bit his ability to be able to block shots. And I wish when he came here it was under better circumstances.
yes.
I wish we got the Theo that we should have gotten. Like I know he still put in a little bit of work, but I get it.
hmm
He wasn't trying to come here like that. He
Nah,
wasn't.
nah, nah.
But that's a good one. That's a good one, bro. Goodness.
Oh, how about this may be a little bit of a stretch, and I know they played a little bit different style, and the game has changed. But what about Sadiq Bey, Terry Mills?
You know
What do you
what?
think about that one? Because Terry Mills was a big. He never played center.
Yeah.
He played forward, either
With the
mostly
demeanor
power
of
forward,
Sadiq
some
Bey,
small
of Joe
forward.
Dumars. Yeah, I
With
can
a
see that.
right, right, and he was a dead eye shooter.
Dead
He
eye.
was a. We always talk about. I think Jeff Shot to Jeff was just talking about how he believes that Sadiq Bey is going to be the all-time leading 3-point scorer with
Bro,
three
we were
pointers
running
made.
around doing this as kids because of Terry Mills.
Exactly. Terry
Like,
Mills made 18 straight 3-pointers in a stretch. Go look it up. 18 straight 3-point. The dude
no.
was a dead eye shooter. So I don't know if Sadiq is going to be that good,
Hold on, bro. Keep
but
talking about it. I'm gonna be right back.
yeah, do your thing. Do your thing. People, do your research on Terry Mills. Terry Mills he was a great player. He wasn't a great defender, but he was somebody who, if you need him to come into the game and get you a bucket, he can get you a bucket. Pick and pop king. That was what his forte was, pick and pop. But he also had some post game to him. He wasn't the athlete that Sadiq Bey is, and Sadiq Bey isn't a supreme athlete, but Terry Mills was kind of a bigger guy. He was a little chunkier. So he wasn't great defensively, didn't have great lateral movement, but he was somebody he was serviceable on defense. You can kind of hide him in situations if you needed to. But he's not somebody who's just gonna expose, right? Unless he's guarding on the perimeter, he's just guarding a guard. But yeah, Terry Mills, look him up. Oh, you need that charger. You
Yeah.
need that. You
Oh,
got to get that. I've been on here by myself, talking about Terry Mills for the next half hour.
No, I'm glad we're doing this. Like I said, in the zone, we're it's past, present, future Pistons, man. So that people
Yep.
have a true perspective of what we're talking about. Like the Pistons talking about restoration. Do people even understand what we're restoring to? And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the chill era is part of that. You see,
Right.
they're highlighting players from the era. They brought Jerry Stackhouse out. They've been highlighting Grant Hill. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I hope that they highlight other people. I know Woodward
Yeah.
Sports, in our announcement for the Teal, we used Ben Wallace, one of the Ben Wallace pictures. Now we know that
Mm-hmm.
he said them boys was daggone ugly, but let's
Yeah.
see what he thinks when they reintroduce him and his jersey starts selling again too.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
bro.
I
Yeah.
hope Ben Wallace go out and do some other Teal merchandise because I will cop. If he do some
Oh,
Future Fro and Teal,
man. Take my
bro,
money.
wait until
Take
they
it.
see the Teal Woodward Pistons though.
Oh, they're not ready for that.
Wait
They
till that
not
merch
ready for
drops.
that.
Wait till hey, look, and everybody on Woodward Pistons, I'm getting all of y'all Woodward Pistons Teal jerseys. Real one.
Woo!
Not just the practice ones. Everybody getting one on the squad, man. I'm so serious.
That's why I
We
love
gotta rock
Kool-Aid,
them at a
man.
game on the
Always
Teal
thinking
night.
about the squad. Always thinking about the squad, man.
Hey, that's what we
I love
all
it.
do. That's what we all
Yep.
do. It's what Woodward Pistons is about, bro. But
That's it. That's it. You
sheesh.
mentioned something
Any
though
other?
about guys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, what you saying?
No, no, no. I don't have it. I think that's all I have for comps. I had a funny one, but I don't even really know if people will remember this name. Corey Joseph, Mark Macon. And I don't even know if I can use that because Mark Macon was a defensive guy. So
Tell
I don't
people to
even
go
know
and
if
look it
that
up.
one.
Tell people to
Go
go
look
and
up
look it
Mark
up, then,
Macon.
boy. Tell
Look up
them.
Mark
Tell them.
Macon.
Ask them if we did good.
He averaged about 3 points a game. He played hard. He was a good on ball defender. Didn't give you too much, but he's not somebody who's gonna hurt you when they come into the game.
He just
So
was what he was.
he just was.
Yep.
He just was what he was. Look up Mark Macon.
Yeah.
We showing our age here, bro.
Let's see here. Who else, brother? So who
We
else?
covered let me see.
Who we missing?
What about let's see. Nah, I'm not gonna do that to Bagley. I was gonna say Mark West, but
I thought you
he's
were gonna
better
say
than
Mikey
Mark
Moore.
West. Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore. That's not a bad. I
Junkyard
think Bagley's
dog.
more talented for sure.
Yeah, he's more talented, way more talented. I
For
mean,
sure. For sure.
um,
I don't think we do we have a junk? I mean we covered Isaiah Stewart. That's probably the closest thing to
wait, Allen
junkyard dog we
Houston.
have right now.
Allen Houston wore the teal, right?
He did wear teal.
Can I say Isaiah Livers?
Ooh.
Can I say Isaiah Livers for Allen Houston? Y'all let me know if that can we
I'm not I think that's probably the closest one we have. I think Allen Houston was
the position
he was
right.
Yeah, I mean Allen Houston, he was a great scorer. He was a great scorer. He wasn't just a shooter. He was a good shooter. He was a good shooter.
Yeah.
But he was also a very polished scorer, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not the likes of a Jerry Stackhouse, but he was a very polished scorer. But to your point, I don't think we've seen all that Livers has to offer yet. I think we all know what he can do as far as shooting the ball, but I think there may be more to his game offensively than has yet to be seen.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the closest we can go with as far as Allen Houston.
Man, we'll see.
What do y'all think? Let us know. Let us know if we're way off base or if you guys rock with that one.
Let us know. Let us know y'all comps. But we also got some other business to take care of, man.
What we got?
We got some other business to take care of. So we got the return of the Teal, man. We got the comps out the way. We talked Grant Hill. We talked Jerry Stackhouse. But we got to talk a Piston who's no longer here, who should still be remembered, like Nate Burleson and those other guys who put in their work. And that is Jerami Grant.
Yes.
Jerami Grant.
Yeah.
Look, I know that a lot of people were saying that the fit, once we got Cade, it just wasn't there. The offensive game, what they were seeing or hoping to see, they said, hey, we like what he could bring to the table, but where the team is going, the money's getting paid, what we can do if we can move him. You know, fans were just kind of, they were ready. You know, they wanted to do it the right way. And so, yeah, Jerami Grant is moved. And a lot of the talk about Jerami Grant or his fit or lack thereof was on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm starting to think, even on that side of the ball, there was things in the crunch time and down the stretch where some nights it was just a Jerami Grant and Cade Cunningham show. In that second half of the season, after Cade Cunningham kind of got healthy, Jerami Grant got healthy. I remember they won that game in Boston where at down the stretch, right before the All-Star game, it was only like Jerami Grant dotting their eyes, just bop, 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 bop. And they won the game because of that. You know, and there was a couple games in the second half of the season where it was Jerami Grant, Cade Cunningham, Jerami Grant, and Sadiq Bey. It was rarely where it was like Sadiq Bey and Cade Cunningham getting off at the same time game to close it. You know, and so there you have that. But then the versatility that he presented, like he was the only player who could really put his back to the basket on the Pistons, and you knew you could depend on that last season. Who was there any of the Pistons that you knew when they're back to the basket, they're going to get fouled or they're going to give you a good, clean, like shot attempt?
Not consistently.
Not consistent.
I think he's the only guy you could reliable go to and say, give me a bucket.
Yep. And you hope, this year that, Bagley, Duran, and some of these guys, Stu take some type of steps back, but we see these guys literally taking steps back and shooting threes, steps back further. So we got to see, but sheesh,
man. I agree. So is the question then, are we going to miss Jerami Grant? Is that kind of what the narrative is? Are we going to miss him? Are we not going to miss him?
Bigger loss than we're making it out to be, because I don't think that people saying we're not going to miss him. He didn't bring anything to the table. I think people respected what Jerami Grant brought to the table. They just recognized that there were some limitations, or the fit and the timing just wasn't right. He's getting older. Yeah. He wants to win as well. He's 27. This is his the edge of his prime on the back end.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And oh no, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's the question, I would say, initially I would say yes. Initially, I would say yes. I agree with that sentiment because, like you mentioned, he was a veteran on this team who provided leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd been in playoff situations before, most notably with Denver back in 2020 in the conference finals against the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also his scoring and the defense that he provided, like you mentioned. But I think that's just because we have such a young team. I believe that a year or two from now, once Cade has a full year under his
Mm-hmm.
belt
Like
with this
that.
team,
Say it.
right?
Preach it.
With,
Say it.
with right. This
Say
could
it,
be
Deuce.
Cade's team to lead. Ivy and Duran getting accustomed to the NBA. Sadiq, Stu,
Bro,
Bagley
I'm
continuing to
drinking
grow.
all the Kool-Aid, all of it.
The
Pour it all over me,
overall,
bro. Say it.
yeah, bro. I mean, I'm just thinking, and then too, the overall chemistry of this team,
Yeah.
continuing to build with guys having defined roles. I think that they'll really be able to be more than compensate for his loss
Yeah.
then in the long run. And the great thing about that, bro, is like we're not expecting to contend right now. So if we're going to move Jeremy Grant, now would have been the perfect time to do it. And I think that's why we pulled the trigger.
Yep. And I do believe we're gonna see a loss this year. I believe that his
Mhm.
defensive versatility and prowess, his defensive leadership by just example, and the team talked about that several times as well as Casey. I do believe that's gonna be missing. He just knew where to be as a defender in many different situations, and it showed in that series when he was with Denver, where he was
Yes.
arguably their best player in that series and in that playoffs.
Yeah,
I
he
know what
was.
people say about the bubble, but he absolutely went in there and he proved something, and then he proved it again with the Pistons. And I believe he'll prove something again with the Blazers. Now, is he a number
Yeah.
one, number two, number three option? I think if he's your number four option on a championship team or number three option at best, then you're in a
Yes.
good position. You're in a really, really, really good position.
Yep.
But as it
Yep.
relates to the Pistons, I like some of the points that you brought up because it shows or it could hint at, maybe Troy Weaver made these decisions because they know that they have their leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times people say it's just the fit. Oh, get the fit gone. Oh, he's taking touches away from Cade. Oh, he's getting in the way of Sadiq Bey's offense. Oh, this, that, and the other. What if the overriding factor that makes it a little bit easier to say, okay, thank you, Jeremy Grant, is because Cade Cunningham is so mature. Sadiq Bey is so mature. I love how much of a leader Cade Cunningham is, and I don't want to leave out the other players because Sadiq Bey, as Rod has mentioned and covered and interviewed him and interviewed people around him, he wants to be great, like individually. Not that he wants individual glory, but in and
Right.
of himself, he has a desire to push and push and push, even if he can't get there. Even
Yep.
if he can't get to the best player ever, he at least has a desire to push for that and to work for that. And he's had, and he has aside from the individual aspect, he has the notion and the compunction to listen to those around him. And
Yes.
that matters too. And he has the right
Absolutely.
people around him. So,
There you
you
go.
know, it's interesting when we look at this team because this is the mold that you would bring in veterans to say, hey, be like Sadiq Bey. Hey, be like Cade Cunningham. We got to bring in Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duran, and we already got great examples. And there are young
Hmm.
guys. And I think that's something that in your statements that it kind of highlights is that when you're building a team, you always need a veteran leader. Where is the, I know they got Noel. I know they got Alec Burks, you
Right.
know, I'm kind of glad that they got those guys. I've seen
Yeah.
sometimes where the veterans you bring in have a little bit more notoriety, and sometimes it can mess things up a little bit. On this
Yep.
team, no matter how example like Noel and Burks can be, Kay Cunningham is the vet, bro.
Absolutely.
like,
It's his team.
like Sadiq Bey is the
Unquestionably.
vet. You know what I mean? Like who's questioning them?
Unquestionably. Absolutely. Yeah. And that just shows once again I would say trust in Troy. You think about summer league. Almost all of our guys who are our best players, our
Yep,
core, was in summer league. Most teams you don't see that. Of course we sat Cade, we sat Sadiq,
yep,
but those guys are playing last year, right? And look
yep.
who's playing this year. So
Bagley signed
you got
that deal
Ivy,
and
you
got
got
down there
Duran.
quick.
Absolutely. Like how many teams around the league do you say our best guys are playing the summer league? They're not because they're older veterans. Those are the
Yep.
best guys.
You know
So
what's
Troy
funny?
wants his team to grow together. Go ahead.
No, continue. I'm just
No, I was
excited,
just
bro.
gonna say
Continue.
Troy wants this. Yeah, Troy wants his team to grow together, man, and that's why I'm really excited about this team because I think that's another reason too why he didn't go out and sign any these free agencies or free agents to these big contracts because I feel that he may feel that he has the stars already. Time just has to catch up. So it's no point
Yep.
to go and spend all that money on a guy who's older, who wasn't homegrown here, who may tie up contracts and really hurt the books. When you already have guys here who can be those guys you're looking for. I mean, and if you're not trying to win yet, it's no point to get that guy anyway. So it's all about timing, like you mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited, brother. That's all. I'm just
Me too.
excited. I'm sitting here looking at the things that, and the prospects that we have in front of us, and think about it, bro. A few years ago, we were crying. People were crying, bro, about losing Christian Wood. Think about this. You fast forward to now, and we're able to be like, hey, Jerami Grant, thank you for everything that you did for us. In just a few short years, we went from our best asset in Christian Wood and us believing that we're losing him for nothing and all this, and please come back. And I remember Twitter, bro, you can go back
Right.
and look it up. People were heated. And now
Yeah.
we're in a position. So we've upgraded so much, and we have a brain trust so powerful enough, so smart enough, so intelligent enough. I don't want to get into my superhero mode, but we got a brain trust so intelligent enough, bro, that we're looking at Jerami Grant, and we're just like, hey, thank you. We're not wigging out this time.
Yeah.
If this was 2 years ago and Jerami Grant's leaving,
Sure.
we're like, what? Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
But because of where we are now, because of the team that we have now, it's like, yo, when Christian Wood was leaving, all we had was like Luke Kennard and Bruce Brown and Andre.
Great point.
Well, not even
That's a
Drummond
great
at that
point.
point. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a good
Like,
point. Definitely good point.
And then people saw those guys get traded, and we were like, what you doing to me, Troy?
Right.
Like, people were like, yo, Bruce Brown, you traded Bruce? Not Bruce, my boy.
Yeah.
And then Luke
It
Kennard
just
get traded. And people were like, what? This is trash.
I think it just shows how the standards for us as Pistons fans kind of dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're crying about losing Christian Wood like it's the end of the world, or Kennard like it's the end of the world, or Bruce Brown like it's the end of the world, we've got all of our core are better than those guys. So are we really
one more time? Say that one more time and look into the camera again.
All of our core are better than those guys. Okay.
I love this stuff.
Jalen Duren will be better than Christian Wood. Okay.
Woo!
Jaden Ivey will be better than Luke Kennard. Okay. Sadiq Bey will be better than Bruce Brown. And Kay Cunningham will be better than everybody.
Stamp it. We don't have to cry
Stamp it.
We don't have to cry about Spencer Dinwiddie no more, bro.
No Spinwiddie. He was cool. No Spinwiddie. No, thank you.
He was on his soapboxes and sight.
I'm on it today, bro. I'm tired of hearing it, man. No more. Let it go. Let it go. It's a new era.
It is a
Just
new
sit
era.
Back and enjoy it.
Yep.
And
yep.
be patient.
And that's what I'm saying. Look, we got some guys we got to remember. Like Jerami Grant has to be remembered. He has to. We sit here and we praise, mattress leg Blake, and then he go out there and he just crapped all over us as soon as he could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, the guys who really deserve it, let's give it to them. I know we were hungry, and Blake Griffin, yo, I salute you because he came in here and he whetted our appetite just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But what Jerami Grant, he to me represents the start of this thing. He chose to come here at the peak of his playoff run, where he was arguably the best player on his team that had an MVP on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's very true.
He chose him. He said, I want this city. He said he stated his reasons for it. He did state, black coach, black general manager, black city, but unity for everybody. I'm here to represent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I loved that. I absolutely loved that from Jerami.
Well, you got a chance to meet him. You got a chance to see him up close too. So you were able to have those conversations with him. And so it's not just something that you're seeing from a distance. You actually had a chance to have those conversations.
He was cool, bro. Like walking up to him. I remember I was there with DJ Joey as well. Shout out Woodward Sports, man. The opportunities that they provide for all their content creators is bar none, bro. There is nothing that compares to this. Nothing. And Deuce, we've been out here trying to do this stuff for some time now, bro. Woodward Sports, shout out to them.
Shout out.
It was awesome to be there to cover the Jerami Grant Classic. We were there to support. All of his teammates came out to support as well, and it was absolutely fun. And when I walked up to him, we did a little interview with him. He was just cool. He's like, man, what's up, man? What's up, bro? Like, how you doing? I see all you guys' stuff. It's awesome. His PR staff was cool. His family was cool. They were
Right.
just cool cats, bro, just enjoying Top Golf. When his
Yeah.
teammates showed up, they all were ecstatic to see him, man. Like they all went up to him like
Hmm.
he was big bro, you know.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
dope to see, you know. And so when he talked to me, it was just all cool. It
Yeah.
was just all cool.
It's
I'm telling you, bro. Like that's
he seems like somebody who was. Ooh, that's yeah.
this is for the Jerami Grant Classic. I had to get it,
That's
man.
that's got to go in the Kool-Aid Raptors.
I had to. I had to. I know. Look, bro, the background's gonna change soon. I got some gifts for everybody too in the squad. You guys are gonna
Oh,
love it. You'll be able to add it to your backgrounds too. It's just some stuff, man. Like I don't think
sounds
people
good,
understand
man.
our Woodward Pistons crew is working their tails off, man. Yo, they're working their tails off. Shout out Sean from Half Court. Shout out Jeff. Shout out
Yes.
Troy and
Shout out
Rob
Jeff.
over there as well. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to Deuce, man, my ace in the
Shout
hole.
out.
Look, man, that dude is doing a lot. He's doing a lot on socials, graphics. He's doing a lot to help raise our culture. The music is on the way. We're
Yeah.
gonna end with that. I've been saving
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out
Okay.
to people like Maddie, Adam, Speak Easy. You know, shout out Easy,
Yep.
Spence, the
Yep.
heavyweights,
Yep.
Chris, Jonah, who else, man? Pistons Talk,
Distance talk.
Everything
Yep.
King, Lexi,
King.
Stick,
King. Lexi. Yeah.
yeah,
Stick.
Joey,
Yep.
everybody. I know I'm probably forgetting people. Hey, shout out to
Shout out
Darren,
to Adam too. Darren.
uh,
Yeah, for sure.
to
Adam too.
Kool-Aid,
That's
bro.
cold. I like that. I like that.
I love it. Dog, Darren
Hey,
looks out.
you talk about dogs. That's a dog right there. Aaron McCarty is
Woo!
a dog.
Wait for our other
That's a dog.
show. Wait for the Deuce and Kool-Aid show or
Yep.
Detroit Deuce.
What
Detroit
y'all
Deuce,
think? What should we
whatever,
call it?
man.
What should we call it? Yeah.
Y'all let
Y'all
us
let us
know.
know.
Covering all sports, all spectrums, all Detroit, all Michigan, like everything,
Yep.
yo. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna have the best of conversations. And if y'all don't know me and Deuce, this is us playing nice. This is us playing nice.
We
We're
really
gonna
are.
get into it. We
We just getting warm.
I'm so mad at your laugh, dog, because it was like
Bro.
darn Skippy.
Bro, man, I've almost bitten the hole through my tongue, bro, trying to fight back words, man. I'm telling you, it's about to get real, y'all. Like we just
Hey,
y'all appetite, like he mentioned.
bro,
We
I
start
heard
getting
the
gripping
Teal is
infection.
back. Hey, shout out Summit Academy, dog. The home of Deuce and I. Got my
Wow.
letter, man. My basketball, my
For those who
baseball.
don't
Yes,
know,
Kool-Aid played
Kool-Aid
baseball.
was a hooper, bro. Kool-Aid was an
Yeah,
athlete.
bro.
He was an athlete, but on that
Got it
basketball
in.
court, man, he was something serious, man. Like I like to pride myself on
Hey,
my game, but yeah, Columbia Union,
yeah.
CU, yeah, the boy
Hey,
could hoop, man. The boy could hoop.
it
One
was
the
awesome.
real story, I would always have to get up into you because once you rise, it's
I hated
over.
this dude.
Like you had the height. I had to get up into you, bro. I couldn't let you get to your spot, and you would still get there.
He was
Right?
like Killian.
And once you got there,
Look, bro,
go
Deuce
ahead.
played defense like Killian when Killian's mad. Like Deuce was like you were like
We
a
got
mix
elbow.
of Will Bynum and Killian when they're both mad, bro. It was like it was absolute octane, dog, and I loved it. Every time I
I
had
had
first
to.
pick, it was like Deuce. It's like, but there's tall people over there, Deuce. But like, there's a center over like Deuce. Y'all don't understand. He's the coldest. I still tell people this. He's the coldest hooper from Summit.
Nah,
I
I
still
think that
tell
might have
people
been
that.
you.
You
I still
did,
think
bro.
that might
You
have been
just
you.
look. You had to play 2003 through 2002 to 2004.
Yep.
Then we could have said something different, but I saw it, bro. Like I was telling people, I tell people this to this day, yo. I would be practicing before games with Deuce, straight
Yeah.
up, straight
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
We be
Yep.
getting it in, dog. So it was
You be getting
dope.
it in.
And we're gonna be
Yeah.
bringing a lot of these conversations and the flair and all of that stuff that we used to have back in high school because it is about the Pistons, whether you remember it and you want to reminisce, or whether you're like, yo, I wish I knew a little bit more about that era and about some of the players that we gush about. Because trust me, man,
Right.
years from now, there are gonna be people forgetting the impact that a guy like Beef Stew made. They're gonna be looking at numbers, and a guy like Andre Drummond in the history of things could overshadow people like that. That's
true.
just a reality. And it's going to be up to guys like us to state, you know what? No, man, I know Marvin Bagley was a number 2 pick, but when he came here, he just played to his strengths and he stayed within his, within his box. And he impacted the game this way. It's going to be on this generation to understand why we're doing what we're doing for them to do. Even with the going to work Pistons, it's not just being able to define an era that may have struggled, but being able to define and properly tell the story of an era that did well as well. Like there's a lot of people who
Yeah,
only know Rip and Chauncey, Ben and Sheed, and
that's
sometimes Tay.
true.
Tay is like
Yeah,
the sometimes vowel. You know what I mean? Sometimes
right.
vowel.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. But
it's
but
it's
they'll forget about guys that contributed to why we didn't go back to back, like Corliss Williamson, who we lost, like Mike James, who we lost, like Mehmet Okur, who we lost. And we're gonna bring those guys back. We're
like
gonna
Ben
give them
Wallace.
their just due, like Ben Wallace, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Even though
Yep.
I think no, I think Ben was there year two. He was there the second year,
Oh,
but that
not the
he
third.
he left in '06, yeah, or '07. He left
Oh,
in
seven.
'07,
You're right. You're
right,
right.
right. But yeah, we're gonna mention those guys, because we were deep, man. And a lot of
Yeah,
time
you're
people
right.
forget about those contributors like Okur, Mike James, Corliss. They were all very integral parts to our team when we won that championship. So we lost
Very.
all three of those guys the next season. So we're gonna get into it, bro. I'm looking forward to going forward and really, like you said, just highlighting those guys who don't get their just due like they should.
Yep. Yep. While we as we get closer to the season, have a pulse on that. But Deuce,
Yeah.
you got something for the people, bro, that we cooking up, right? I know Deuce been working hard. He's been
Hey,
working
man.
hard on the single. I know we got some music on the way. We
Yes.
got
I have
some.
two words for Pistons community: destination, restoration. That's all I have to say. Destination, restoration. So Kool-Aid and myself, we're working on a Woodward Pistons EP, right? The two of us. For those who don't know, this dude is also a musical mastermind. He does it all. Like, it's not just
Appreciate you, brother.
downtown dudes doing this, but behind the scenes, we talked about those Pistons who don't get their just due. This guy doesn't get his just due because he's a beast. I'm just gonna put that out there. But we're working on something now, so you guys can eventually see that. We're working on a Woodward Pistons EP. Just out of the love we have for the Pistons, and just watching them growing up for years. This is just a dedication to them. It's not just this rendition, but it's
Yeah.
all the renditions of the Pistons team. So look for that coming around the time the season starts, right? This coming fall. We're gonna
Yes.
have that out. We're gonna be dropping some snippets. Shout out to Carl Collins, who's
Shout
doing.
out Carl.
He does
Yeah.
amazing. He sent me a couple snippets. I think I showed it to you already. A couple snippets
Mm-hmm.
for the highlight video we're doing for the Destination Restoration song, and it looks amazing.
That's good.
Absolutely amazing. This dude is a beast. Absolutely. So I want to give him his flowers too. But yeah, man, a lot of good things coming, bro. I'm looking forward to doing it with you and the rest of the squad.
Yep. And look, guys, we're working on with this Woodward Pistons channel in general. This is effectively a network where we're going to be bringing you multiple platforms from multiple perspectives. We have the Woodward Pistons show, which was just introduced, featuring Sean, Jeff, and myself, as well as contributions from some of the regulars like King, Lexi. But one of the regular rotation members, one of the differences, we're going to have our homie Deuce in there to help contribute.
Hey, man, love being
We
here with y'all.
Yes, we got In the Zone, obviously, and we're covering from a different perspective. Woodward Pistons show is going to be very active during the season. Pre-games, some post-games, reactions, keep you up
Can't
to
wait.
date with the stats, looks ahead, look behind, breaking down the games, breaking down the players, breaking down where we are, if we're heading in the right way or not. It's going to be where you want to be at if you are Pistons anything, bro. Even if you want to hate on
Yes.
the Pistons, you want to be there. That's just straight up, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Woodward Pistons podcast is obviously it's going to be a little bit different and unique in this perspective that we have Rod Beard on there, former Detroit News beat writer, now the assistant sports editor at the Detroit News. He's had great relationships and great vantage points and perspectives with the players, and it's hosted by myself. And we've just called up the young boy Jeff Iafredi, Mr. Everything, to be a co-host as
Hey.
well. He's been rocking out on that show for some time, and we get into analytics, we get into some breakdowns, we get into some hypotheticals, we get into a little bit of everything there so that you can have it covered from the beat perspective. And we got some other things on the way as well. I know we've been talking to King and Lexi, and we're trying to get some real fun and interactive programming here, so you will have anywhere from 3 to 5 shows that you can watch. And as we get closer to the season, that's just going to increase. And not just that, but the media that we are producing. So yeah, shout out to Carl, shout out to some of the other content creators we're
Yeah.
bringing in, because the music is going to be something you want to tune into. And all of our music makers out there, I don't care if you're a producer and you just make beats,
Right.
I don't care if you're a DJ, I don't care if you're any type of artist, man. If you got music, send it in to us. You know what I'm saying? We're taking some submissions for now.
Yep.
In the future, we'll definitely have some campaigns for you to be able to have your music get out there, get some viewers. We want to be able to support the community. So
Yep.
definitely, if you want to be featured, definitely do that. If you want to be involved in the bigger mixtape, we're doing a
Yes.
whole Woodward Pistons mixtape. And Woodward Pistons, bro, if you're in a mixtape, hey, if you family, you can be a part of it. If you're in the comments,
That's
if you
right.
this, if you that, we're trying to put on, we're trying to make sure that people can benefit in whatever way is possible. So,
That's right.
hey,
That's
we got
right,
a
man.
lot
Well
coming, man.
said.
Yeah, I
I
think
can't wait, bro. We're just
I'm
getting
I'm
started.
talked out now.
I think we're right at 1 hour, so that's perfect. That's perfect, man. I think
Yeah,
there, I think that's yeah, I think that's a wrap. I think that's
I
a wrap.
think that's a
But we
wrap, bro.
appreciate you guys, man. Thanks for hanging
Definitely.
with us, man. Looking for, and let us know what you think about everything we said, man. If you thought we
Yep.
were way off base with our player comps, be like, man, bro, no, that was terrible. Like, let us know.
Bro,
Let us know.
let's get
Maybe
it.
maybe it's something we missed. It's
Let's
a
get
lot of
it.
guys out there who really remember those times. So we want to hear from y'all.
Yep. Yep. And look, in the zone, we're gonna be coming at you guys. Obviously pre-recorded on this one. We're gonna premiere it. We're gonna be in the comments though to make sure that we're there with you. Actually, shoot, I'm about to get this one up so I can get on soon. It's 3:45, bro.
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
But yeah, we're gonna
Let's
get
do
this
it.
boy up there. Hey, peace out till next time, man. Detroit
Peace.
Kool-Aid, downtown Deuce in the zone. Shout out Stick.
Shout out Stick. That's the next restoration, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.